I would like to advise all those present that notice of this regular meeting of October 16th, 2024 has been provided to the public in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act of the State of New Jersey. Notice of time and place of this meeting has been included in the annual notice of meetings, which was posted and filed with the city clerk and with the Jersey Journal and the Star Ledger. An additional notice of time and place was posted and filed with the city clerk and was forwarded to the Jersey Journal and Star Ledger on October 11th, 2024. The regular meeting of the Municipal Council of the City of Bayonne is now in session. Ms. Medina, please call the roll.
Mr. Booker?
Here.
Mr. Carroll?
Here.
Mr. Perez?
Here.
Ms. Weimer?
Here.
Mr. La Palusa?
Here, please rise for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Starting with 01, it is a resolution postponing to the meeting of November 13th. Who'd like to move it?
Move it.
And on that resolution, Mr. Booker?
Aye.
Mr. Carroll?
Aye.
Mr. Perez?
Aye.
Ms. Weimer?
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa?
Aye.
02 is an ordinance amending and supplementing the revised general ordinances of the City of Bayonne, Chapter 24, Water and Sewer Services, which was introduced and passed the first reading held September 18th, was published in the Jersey Journal and posted on the bulletin boards required by law, with notice that it would be further considered for final passage following a public hearing of this meeting of October 16th, is now before the council for its consideration and a public hearing. And a resolution giving the ordinance second reading is moved by the council president. Ms. Weimer, will you second?
Second.
And on that resolution, Mr. Booker?
Aye.
Mr. Carroll? Aye. Mr. Perez?
Aye.
Ms. Weimer?
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa?
Aye.
Second reading is by title, an ordinance amending and supplementing the revised general ordinances of the City of Bayonne, Chapter 24, Water and Sewer Services. The council is now ready to give all persons interested in this ordinance an opportunity to be heard concerning it. The council president will recognize anyone who wishes to speak. No protest against, objections to, or statements in favor of this ordinance or its passage has been filed with me. May I have a motion to close?
So moved.
Second.
On the motion to close, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
And a resolution ordering final passage.
So moved.
Second.
And on that resolution, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
03 is an ordinance of the City of Bayonne in the County of Hudson, New Jersey, providing for the special emergency appropriation of $4 million provided for the payment of contractually required severance liabilities resulting from layoffs and retirements of employees, which was introduced and passed the reading at a meeting held September 18th, was published in the Jersey Journal and posted on the bulletin boards required by law, with notice that it would be further considered for final passage following a public hearing at this meeting of October 16th, is now before the council for its consideration and a public hearing. This resolution is moved by the council as a whole, giving the ordinance second reading. On that second reading resolution, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
Second reading is by title, an ordinance of the City of Bayonne in the County of Hudson, New Jersey, providing for a special emergency appropriation of $4 million provided for the payment of contractually required severance liabilities resulting from layoffs and retirement of employees. The council is now ready to give all persons interested in this ordinance an opportunity to be heard concerning it. The council president will recognize anyone who wishes to speak. No protest against, objections to, or statements in favor of this ordinance or its passage has been filed with me. May I have a motion to close?
Move it.
Second.
On the motion to close, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
And a resolution ordering final passage.
So moved.
Second.
And on that resolution, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
04 is a bond ordinance providing for the acquisition of certain real property from the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey and the construction of a ferry pier and dock improvements on portions thereof, appropriating $6 million therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $6 million bonds or notes to finance a portion of the cost thereof, authorized in and by the City of Bayonne in the County of Hudson, State of New Jersey. Was introduced at the meeting held September 18th, was published in the Jersey Journal and posted on the bulletin board as required by law, with notice that it would be further considered for a final passage and public hearing at this meeting of October 16th. Is now before the council for its consideration and a public hearing. And a resolution giving the ordinance second reading is moved by council as a whole. And on that resolution, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
Second reading is by title, an ordinance providing for the acquisition of certain real property from the Port Authority of New York, New Jersey, and the construction of a ferry pier and dock improvements on a portion thereof, appropriating $6 million therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $6 million bonds or notes to finance a portion of the cost thereof, authorized in and by the City of Bayonne in the County of Hudson, State of New Jersey. The council is now ready to give all persons interested in this ordinance an opportunity to be heard concerning it. The council president will recognize anyone who wishes to speak. No protest against, objections to, or statements in favor of this ordinance or its passage has been filed with me. May I have a motion to close?
Move it.
Second.
And on the motion to close, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll. Aye. Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
And a resolution ordering final
Move it.
passage.
Second.
And on that resolution, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
Oh, 05 is an ordinance of the City of Bayonne in the County of Hudson, State of New Jersey, authorizing the City of Bayonne to enter into a real estate purchase agreement and all other documents necessary for and related to the purchase of certain real property and the construction of certain infrastructure improvements within. Was introduced and passed the first reading at the meeting held September 18th, was published in the Jersey Journal and posted on the bulletin board as required by law, with notice that it would be further considered for final passage. Following a public hearing at this meeting of October 16th, is now before the council for its consideration and a public hearing. And a resolution moved by Councilmember Perez, giving the ordinance second reading. Mr. Booker,
Just
will you
as a
second?
whole, as a whole.
You want to do it as a whole? And on that resolution, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
Second reading is by title, authorizing the City of Bayonne to enter into a real estate purchase agreement and all other documents necessary for and related to the purchase of certain real property and the construction of certain infrastructure improvements within. The council is now ready to give all persons interested in this ordinance an opportunity to be heard concerning it. The council president will recognize anyone who wishes to speak. No protest against, objections to, or statements in favor of this ordinance or its passage has been filed with me. May I have a motion to close?
So move.
On the motion to close, Mr. Booker. Aye. Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
And a resolution ordering final passage.
So move.
Second.
And on that resolution, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
06 is an ordinance of the City of Bayonne, County of Hudson, New Jersey, approving the redevelopment plan 415-21 East 23rd Street, which is identified as Block 198, Lots 1 and 2, as shown on the official tax map of the city pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law, which was introduced and passed the first reading at the meeting held September 18th, was published in the Jersey Journal and posted on the bulletin board as required by law, with notice that it would be further considered for final passage. Following the public hearing at this meeting of October 16th, is now before the council for its consideration and a public hearing. And a resolution giving the ordinance second reading is moved by Councilmember Perez. Mr. Booker, will you second?
Second.
And on that resolution, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
Second reading is by title, an ordinance of the City of Bayonne, County of Hudson, New Jersey, approving the redevelopment plan for 15-21 East 23rd Street, which is identified as Block 198, Lots 1 and 2, as shown on the official tax map of the city pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law. The council is now ready to give all persons interested in this ordinance an opportunity to be heard concerning it. The council president will recognize anyone who wishes to speak. No protest against, objections to, or statements in favor of this ordinance or its passage has been filed with me. May I have a motion to close?
So move.
Second.
And on the motion to close, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
And a resolution ordering final passage.
So move.
Second.
And on that resolution, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
07 is an ordinance amending and supplementing the revised general ordinances of the City of Bayonne, Chapter 7, Traffic, was introduced and passed the first reading at the meeting held September 18th, was published in the Jersey Journal and posted on the bulletin board as required by law, with notice that it would be further considered for final passage following a public hearing at this meeting of October 16th, is now before the council for its consideration and a public hearing. This is for no parking at 46th and Broadway. And a resolution moved by Council President, giving the ordinance second reading. Mr. Perez, will you second?
Second.
On that resolution, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
Second reading is by title, an ordinance amending and supplementing the revised general ordinances of the City of Bayonne, Chapter 7, Traffic. The council is now ready to give all persons interested in this ordinance an opportunity to be heard concerning it. The council president will recognize anyone who wishes to speak. No protest against, objections to, or statements in favor of this ordinance or its passage has been filed with me. May I have a motion to close?
Move it.
Second.
On the motion to close, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
And resolution ordering final passage.
Move it.
Second.
On that resolution, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
08 is also amending and supplementing the revised general ordinances of the City of Bayonne, Chapter 7, Traffic, and this is for restricted parking zones, which was introduced and passed the first reading at the meeting held September 18th, was published in the Jersey Journal and posted on the bulletin boards required by law, with notice that it would be further considered for final passage following a public hearing at this meeting of October 16th, is now before the council for its consideration and a public hearing. And a resolution moved by Councilmember Perez, giving the ordinance second reading. Mr. Booker, will you second?
Second.
On that resolution, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
Second reading is by title, an ordinance amending and supplementing the revised general ordinances of the City of Bayonne, Chapter 7, Traffic. The council is now ready to give all persons interested in this ordinance an opportunity to be heard concerning it. The council president will recognize anyone who wishes to speak. No protest against, objections to, or statements in favor of this ordinance or its passage has been filed with me. May I have a motion to close?
So move. Second.
And on the motion to close, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
And a resolution ordering final passage.
So move.
Second.
And on that resolution, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
Trisha Mulligan.
Hi, my name is Patty Mulligan Ziblet, 121 East Fifth Street in Bayonne. Okay, do you need the spelling? Okay. My comments are regarding EMR, the scrap metal yard located behind Lexington Avenue and First Street. You have all the facts, the DEP results, the complaints, concerns, etc. There's no need for me to discuss that. And I'm sure you've all read the article in Recycling Today where EMR states, developed with sustainability at the forefront. The company lists that all concrete flooring and innovative dust suppression system as features that will ensure potentially hazardous materials cannot leak into the local environment. Well, I beg to differ with that. I am here for me, to discuss me, and to discuss the new me possibly resulting from EMR, conducting business in our city. EMR already has a dark past history, and moving to Bayonne, conducting business 1 block away from residents with little supervision, not being held accountable for their actions, not following guidelines, and their state-of-the-art roads are meaningless to me. I come from a long line of generations living and dying in Bayonne, and I've always proudly called Bayonne my home. I've lived on Lexington Avenue for 62 years. I sold my home 2 years ago and moved to East 5th Street. I've always tried to maintain a healthy lifestyle, caring for myself, having yearly exams with several local physicians. In the fall of 2022, which is prior to EMR, I had routine scans. The results showed healthy lungs and body, and I got a clean bill of health. As 2023 came to a close, which of course is a few months after EMR, I was not feeling very well, just overall crappy. I blame the weather change, winter approaching, the shorter days, still mourning the death of my mom. I told myself winter is only one season and I'll feel better in spring. Well, spring came. I would sit on my deck and wonder why I still felt crappy, even crappier than before. My breathing got worse, my stomach was nauseous. As the days got longer, I knew I had to do something. Summer was coming and I wanted to enjoy it. So I went to the doctor, explained my symptoms, the overall feeling of unwell, and we began testing. In July, my first lung scan show I have 8mm nodules in both lungs. I also have clusters of smaller nodules in each lung. 8mm, do you know how big that is? That's 1/3 of an inch that fits into a less than 9-inch lung. That's also equivalent to me standing at the weigh station at the entrance of EMR. I've had 2 scans already with no improvement at all. My 3rd scan is next month in November, and I am scared to death. If my comments can make you stop and think before you approve the next mistake that will cause harm to our community, or if I bother your conscience or make you remember the magenta-haired woman that spoke at a council meeting, or make you lose a minute of sleep for your actions, then it was worth my time to speak. I would bet that there are many more people like me suffering from suspicious nodules in their lung. I would also bet the responsible party is EMR scrap metal, as well as the city of Bayonne for overlooking their practices. We elected each and every one of you to represent us, to be our voice. It's time for you all to step up and hold EMR accountable for their actions. Thank you.
Jean Perry?
Gene, if I can, consistent with what we talked about, I just want to read a statement just so that we know where we are. The City of Bayonne is aware of residents' complaints regarding air quality issues in and around the EMR site on 2nd Street. Insofar as the City of Bayonne has no jurisdiction over air quality matters, the city has been working in concert with both the Hudson Regional Health Commission and the State of New Jersey's Department of Environmental Protection for quite some time with respect to this site and the complaints associated with it. Indeed, Mayor Davis has had an ongoing dialogue with the Commissioner of the Department of Environmental Protection, Sean Lauderette, about this site, and our Fire Chief, Keith Weaver, has been in contact with the DEP about the site for over a year. The Hudson Regional Health Commission and the NJDEP have sole jurisdiction over air quality complaints. It is the city's understanding that both the Hudson Regional Health Commission and the NJDEP have been to the site and that an investigation is ongoing. In fact, I was advised today that the NJDEP issued a notice of violation to the property owner on October 11, 2024, for 2 violations of the Air Pollution Control Act and the Air Pollution Control Regulations that arose out of a compliance evaluation in October of 2023. Insofar as there is an ongoing investigation by agencies other than the City of Bayonne, we will not be commenting on the matter other than to say that we can assure you that the city has been and will continue to be in constant contact with both the county and the state regarding the site. According to Hudson Regional Health Commission, there have been no complaints to the Hudson Regional Health Commission about this site since October 1st, 2024. If residents in that area have concerns about air quality, they should contact both the Hudson Regional Health Commission at 201-223-1133 and the NJDEP at 877-927-6337. That's 877-WARN-DEP. As soon as they see, hear, or smell something. It's imperative that residents make the call as soon as they are aware of something, because both HRHC and the NJDEP need to be on site while an alleged violation is taking place.
Thank you, Jay. Hold your microphone. I want to first start off by thanking Councilperson Jackie Weimer, Juan Perez, and Gary LaPalooza for all three reaching out to me after the last council meeting. I do appreciate your concern and checking into the matter. Couple things. I'm going to go around my agenda. I gave everyone a zoning map, but I want to start with this. This is the Bayonne City's website. Mayor Dennis Collins Park is an extensive waterfront park along Bayonne's southern shore. The park starts under the Bayonne Bridge and runs a quarter-mile east. Built in the 1950s, the park provides opportunities for both passive and active recreation. We'll stop there. Passive and active recreation in downtown Bayonne has gone out the window with this new zoning. And the reason I'm saying the new zoning, I pulled up 4 zoning maps, and it seems that downtown Bayonne was rezoned 4 different times. The latest in 2001 and in 1995 during the city's long-term plan, or long-term plan, we think it was redevelopment plans. So my question is, why cannot, I know we're not answering questions, Jay, but I think the city should really look at why we keep rezoning that area from heavy industrial to light industrial, to heavy industrial and back again. We also took the military ocean terminal and rezoned that for residential, which was heavy industrial in the 1950s. So something can be done. So you commented earlier, Jay, to call them, great. Who should I call at 2 o'clock in the morning when I can't sleep because they're dropping scrap metal? Maybe I'll drive down to 2nd Street to Mr. Carroll's house, wake him up, he can join us. I have spoke to Hudson Regional numerous times and the state. There's nothing they could do at the noise, though, because it happens at late at night. We have a noise ordinance in this town. I helped write it. It was meant for construction and, I believe, landscapers. But unfortunately, this is quote-unquote heavy industrial, and they don't follow the noise ordinance laws.
But the noise ordinance that you and I worked on back in the day also requires Hudson Regional come down and use the decimal reader.
The comment I have from a city council person was there's nothing the city can do because they are grandfathered.
That's on a zoning issue. That's not on a
Well, I'm
noise,
putting it
that's
out
not a
there.
noise issue.
Thank you. So on September 27th, I was contacted, oh, by the way, 1952, 162 low-income housing units were put in the heavy industrial area and rezoned to light industrial. So I'd like to know when the city, at another time, when it got rezoned back to heavy industrial again with the 162 residents in low-income housing living there. But on September 27th, I was contacted by the News 12. They were also at City Hall. I gave them my side of the story. The mayor spoke, and the one thing that got to me was, one of the comments during this interview from the city was, it was the first time they've heard of this. That's okay. What got me was, close our windows and wear a mask from OEM. That is the most asinine comment, I'm sorry, ladies, that I've ever heard in my life. We went through COVID of 2.5 years wearing masks to keep each other safe. Now we've got to wear masks because someone wants to put a scrap metal yard in Bayonne because Newark kicked them out because they had a fire that lasted 2 days. The IMTT and the Bayonne Fire Department had to be called in to put that fire out. And I have that video as well. And that's all I have right now.
Okay.
Since the
And Gene,
council can answer.
on that News 12 thing, the mayor spoke with them for 20 minutes.
I saw it. There was 5 different clips. I recorded all 5 of them on my phone.
Okay, but there's different clips, but there's 20 minutes worth of dialogue that's tapered down to, what,
But again,
a minute
what
and a half?
stands out to me, wear a mask, close your windows if you're not happy.
But that's not the full context of it, Gene.
I understand.
It was, if there are problems and you're concerned about it at that particular time, close your window, put on a mask. It's not the cure for everything. It's not the panacea. He was just saying if there is an instant matter where somebody's concerned about something, close your windows, put on a mask.
So like Patty, I had tests done before Dr. Mutterpro retired. I now have COPD and emphysema and nodules on my lungs. Mutterpro retired in 2022, had a full scan done. Thank you, counsel.
Teresa Martek?
It's Teresa Martiak.
Martiak.
I live at 54 Lord Avenue. I have a child that has asthma. My daughter is 30 now. She had it at 18 months old. She lives with me, and we go in our yard with my granddaughters. She can't stay in the yard. Everything's covered with dirt. My cars are full with dirt. And I don't think, why does my daughter, because she has asthma, has to stay in the house, and like he said, we have to wear a mask, and I have to close my windows, and I have to raise my TV loud enough because I can't hear my TV? That's not right. And wearing a mask, we wore a mask for a long time. Why can't we sit outside on our porch? Why? Because everything's full with dust. My cars, I have a white car. It's filthy. When the other thing is, this company that's down there, they have a truck, and every time they go down the wrong aisle or the wrong road, and they come up Lord Avenue, all of us got to move our cars, or unless we get hit with a truck. There's no signs that say, oh, well, make a left there. No, they come all the way down to Lord Avenue, and we all got to move our cars not to get smashed. So I don't think that's fair neither. So I really don't think it's fair for my grandchildren that can't play in my yard because they have to listen to the noise and go, Grandma, what's that noise? What's that noise? Or they're outside riding their bikes. And I tell them, well, we can't sit out here too long with your aunt because she has asthma, because she has the breathing. Thank you.
Robert Nazinski?
Robert Nazinski, I live at 41 Lexington Avenue, Bayonne, New Jersey. I'm practically catty corner. I'm one of the closest houses to the junk pile. I have pictures, and I guess you all know, but I've just painted my house, or the windows. It's a brick house. I just painted it in July. I have pictures of the dust. It's just 1 month of how much black dust, I'm calling it dust, is on the window. I have pictures if you'd like to see it. This last weekend, I found a rat in my yard, the biggest I've ever saw, this size. I could not believe it. It drowned in my shed. I have a shed, and I have a water thing to get the water to water the plants. And it got in there and died. I had never seen a rat that big. It's like they're living in that big, huge pile of junk over there. It's unreal. I don't understand why. I've lived there now for 30 years at that house. And when they wanted to make the old Main Ford building, you know, the senior citizen, they sent them out petitions to ask if it was okay. When they, down at the end of Lexington, when they wanted to put one of those storage places, if you know what I'm talking about, again, the community was asked, is it okay? Should we do this? No one ever mentioned or known this to us. All of a sudden one time, I look up and I was like, where did that come from? How did, you know, and somehow it didn't get to me right away. You know, like even though the dirt, like, you know, how it comes in the spring, it's, you know, the stuff from the trees, so it never really registered quick with me. But now, like, I just painted my house, and then that. What's going on here? Monday morning, this Monday morning, I was laying in bed, and And it's so annoying hearing that noise. I mean, they stopped, I haven't heard it much at night now. In the summer, because of the air conditioning on, it wasn't such a, I knew it existed, I heard it when I went outside, but in the house, I'll have to admit, the air conditioning, it wasn't so annoying. But Monday morning, I'm retired. It was like 9 o'clock, and I'm hearing that scrapey. It's almost, it reminds you in a way of the scraping of a blackboard. That thing when the metal's going down a chute. Sometimes there's a big ship there. I've seen it, and I see the lights and everything. I just looked at it today. I counted over 6 cranes, gigantic cranes there. Again, I'm a retired staff sergeant, and I have, when I go to the VFW, I have the thing that other lady said about the nodules on my lungs. I never put it until I just heard it now. That might be what's happened. I never knew why. But, but I'm outside a lot. I'm the kind of person that, likes to be outside and gardening and everything. So, I don't know how this happened, like how it got like that. It's just like, we have a nice neighborhood. It's like they ruined it. It's like you have a big garbage dump. I'd like to show you all the pictures and pass it around when you go by, but I think you know what it looks like. It's unfair. I don't know how this got to be like this, but I definitely think something has to be done. And I know it's not right to have dust where we're breathing. It's just not, that's not fair, And that's it.
Dorothy Nizinski.
That was my husband, Robert. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. My name is Dorothy Nizinski. My husband and I live at 41-43 Lexington Avenue. That's on the corner of 2nd Street, the second house. Very close after turning the corner on East 2nd, there has been for about 2 years, not positive of the dates, a metal recycling dump. It has brought air and noise pollution to our formerly quiet neighborhood. The sound of constantly pouring metal, junk into huge containers is horrific, a huge disturbance. Along with that is thick dirt falling onto our windows and trim. So our quality of life has been greatly compromised, making us very unhappy and angry. Our neighborhood has been called industrial by the authorities here, but the people here have well-kept, attractive homes. We want peace and quiet and clean air. We are experiencing air pollution to the nth degree. Our taxes are well over $13,000 a year, but yet we live near a dump. Why here? It's unfair and it's inhuman. Remove it completely and restore our peace and quiet. As my husband said, when the Maiden Farm building was going to be made into senior apartment building, we were sent letters. Did we mind? Of course we didn't mind that. When the city was going to allow self-storage units at First and Lexington, we were against it. We fought it, and it didn't happen. But we were not asked if we minded a dump. We do mind. We want it out of our neighborhood soon. Thank you.
Ralph Policio. Okay.
Ralph Policio. I'm an uptowner, 32 West 45th Street. I personally have noticed the Pony League field and the adjacent children's playground that is directly straight down from that pile of junk with the coating of dust in the area, on vehicles, on some of the children's play swings, and the field itself, which is artificial turf, will absorb that dust, and there's no way to get it out of there. The rain won't make it go away. You can't vacuum it up. That's my concern for that. I'm an uptowner, and this isn't my problem, but I do have something else to speak to you about later. Thank you.
On the agenda, 09 is a bond ordinance providing for the 63rd Street Flood Resiliency Project in and by the city of Bayonne in the county of Hudson, New Jersey, appropriating $3 million therefore, and authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $3 million bonds or notes of the city to finance the cost thereof. And a resolution fixing Wednesday, November 13 at 6 p.m. in the Dorothy E. Harrington Council Chambers as a time and place for a public hearing and final passage. It's moved by the council president. Mr. Perez, will you second?
Second.
On the resolution, Mr. Booker. Aye. Mr. Carroll. Aye. Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
10 is an ordinance of the City of Bayonne, County of Hudson, New Jersey, approving the redevelopment plan for 173-179 Avenue F, which is identified as Block 442, Lots 6, 7, 8, and 9, as shown on the official tax map of the city pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law. And a resolution moved by Councilmember Booker fixing Wednesday, November 13 at 6 p.m. in the Dorothy E. Harrington Council Chambers as a time and place for a public hearing and final passage. Ms. Weimer, will you second?
I will second. I'm going to ask anybody, I believe Mr. Maselli is in the audience, excuse me. And I just wonder if you might come up and give a quick overview of what this project is going to be. And I'm hopeful that residents, both here and perhaps watching, would get a little bit greater information about it before we go ahead and move it along.
Sure. Thank you, Councilwoman. Council President, with your permission, Michael Maselli. I'm the attorney for the property owner and the redeveloper of this project. This is going to be a project that has about 52 units. That's what we're looking at. The height is a story. This district already allows 7 stories. We're sticking within that 7 stories. We were trying to get it to 6, but because it's in the future floodplain, they made us lift the building. We couldn't do anything in the basement, so they gave us that little bump. So it was to accommodate really mechanicals and parking. Like I said, it's going to be a fairly medium-sized project for Bayonne right now. It's 52 units right now. Most of them are 1-bedrooms. We're going to have, we're not sure about parking right now because when we went through the redevelopment plan process, locations of things changed. We're going to, of course, have more than, the amount that whatever's required in the RDP. I think it'll probably come out to a little over 1 per unit.
Provided, not optional.
Right, absolutely. And we are going to have the option, we're going to try and put loading inside. If we can't, we're going to come back and ask for loading on the street. If we can't get that, then, we'll do our best. But we're going to try and design all of this. Like I said, our original design and the redevelopment plan didn't exactly line up. So we're in the process of remodeling that now so that you will all see it before the adoption. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any additional questions
Thank you.
at this point, but I
have a
appreciate it.
question just
Sure.
on the timing. What's your time frame for?
To start?
Yeah, I know, no, you're gonna try and make all this work, but you're not sure.
Oh, no, I think our architect's done or was working on it as of this morning. So in the next couple of weeks, we'll set up meetings with everyone, just like we do before, well before the next council meeting. I will reach out to you
So
and we'll.
within this next month?
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Maselli,
you.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Madeline. I'll second.
Okay. And on the introduction, Mr. Booker. Aye. Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
011 is an ordinance of the City of Bayonne, County of Hudson, State of New Jersey, approving the redevelopment plan for 102.5-116 Avenue E, which is identified as Block 467, Lots 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, as shown on the official tax map of the city pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law. And a resolution moved by the council president fixing Wednesday, November 13th at 6 p.m. and the Dorothy E. Harrington Council Chambers as a time and place for a public hearing. Mr. Carroll, will you second?
Second.
And on that resolution, Mr. Booker. Mr. Carroll?
I waited till 11 because it pertains to both. I intend to vote aye. I just hope that in the meantime, between now and the redoing of the plan and making certain changes, the developers would consider an inclusion of a percentage of workforce housing in both those properties going forward, both those projects.
And you're voting aye. Mr. Perez?
Aye.
Ms. Weimer?
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa?
Aye.
12 and 13 have been withdrawn. 014 is an ordinance amending and supplementing the revised general ordinances of the City of Bayonne, Chapter 7 Traffic, and a resolution moved by the council president fixing Wednesday, November 13th at 6 p.m. in the Dorothy E. Harrington Council Chambers as a time and place for a public hearing and final passage. Mr. Booker, will you second?
Second.
On that resolution, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll?
Aye.
Mr. Perez?
Aye.
Ms. Weimer?
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa?
Just a little background on this. This is a pickup and drop-off zone for handicapped students. It'll go Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 3:30, and it's right in front of the school on the 38th Street side. And I vote aye.
015 is an ordinance amending and supplementing the revised general ordinances of the City of Bayonne, Chapter 7 Traffic, and a resolution moved by Councilmember Carroll fixing Wednesday, November 13th at 6 p.m. in the Dorothy E. Harrington Council Chambers as a time and place for a public hearing and final passage. This is for adding 9 restrictive zones, deleting 3, and relocating 1. Mr. Perez, will you second?
Second.
On the resolution, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa?
Aye.
016 has been withdrawn. 017 is a bond ordinance providing for the acquisition of various items of public safety technology and equipment for the city's Department of Public Safety, appropriating $2,550,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,550,000 in bonds and notes to finance a portion of the cost thereof, authorized in and by the City of Bayonne in the County of Hudson, New Jersey, and fixing Wednesday, November 13th as a time and place for a public hearing. Who'd like to move it?
Move it.
Second.
And on that one, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa?
Aye.
018 is an ordinance authorizing the purchase of certain real property, which is located at 442 Avenue C, by the City of Bayonne of County of Hudson, State of New Jersey from, should be Nat Realty, not Matt, Company, Inc., and a resolution fixing Wednesday, November 13th at 6 p.m. in the Dorothy E. Harrington Council Chambers as a time and place for a public hearing and final passage. Who'd like to move it?
And I can tell you the contract was signed today.
Excellent.
So moved, Matt on.
And on that resolution, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa?
Aye.
Consent resolutions is moved by the council as a whole, and it covers C1 through C3. Any questions on the communications? And on the communications, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa?
Aye.
Officers' reports is a resolution moved by the council as a whole. It covers OR1 through OR2. Any questions on the officers' reports? And on the officers' reports, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa?
Aye.
Consent resolutions, we are removing C12, 14, and 15, and it's moved by the council as a whole. and it's a resolution ordering the following resolutions to be adopted. Any questions on the consent resolutions?
Madeline, what was it, 12, 14?
It was 12, 14, and 15.
And 15, okay, thank you.
Any questions on? Okay. On the consent resolutions, Mr. Booker. Aye. Mr. Carroll. Aye. Mr. Perez. Aye. Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
R1 is a resolution affirming that the council members have read at a minimum the comments and recommendations of the section of the calendar 2023 audit and affidavit certifying that they have done so. Would like to move it.
Move it.
I'll second.
And on that resolution, Mr. Booker. Aye. Mr. Carroll. Aye. Mr. Perez. Aye. Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
And we'll have to take 1 minute and get signatures. Talk to Jack.
There's a question about the amount of the contract going over the,
That was from 23, that's why, it's 23 and 24. Calendar year 24 does not go over. We worked on it with the director.
you're talking CR 12?
Yep,
And what,
because the contract started in October of 23. So October, November, December was 23 funds.
And this says 24, so it's,
but the,
So
the,
this is going to carry October through December, and for January through December, it will not go over the 44.
the total amount of the contract for 15 months.
It was for October to October.
Understood. And we're extending the contract another 3 months. What's the total amount of the contract?
49,550.
What's the bid?
But that's in the calendar year.
I'd like to say that, but the four. Okay, I will go get the resolution. We'll put it on as a non-consent.
Okay. R2 is approving the correction action plans for the calendar year ending December 31st, 2023. It's moved by the council president. Mr. Carroll, will you second?
Second.
On that resolution, Mr. Booker. Aye. Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
aye.
R3 is authorizing the agreed modifications to the December 2012 concession agreement between Bayonne Water Joint Ventures LLC and the City of Bayonne regarding large water meter replacements. Would like to move it.
Move it.
Second.
On the resolution, Mr. Booker. Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
R4 is authorizing a $100,000 payment to CEI HB Urban Renewal LLC for the construction of the street improvements in accordance with the redevelopment plan between the city and CEI HB Urban Renewal LLC.
So moved. Second.
R4, on that resolution, Mr. Booker? Mr. Carroll? Mr. Perez? Ms. Weimer? Mr. La Palusa?
Aye.
So this is in dealing with Avenue J, road improvement. So pursuant to two redevelopment agreements, which had conflicting language, one said that one developer was responsible for building it. When it came to the payment of the $100,000, one said that it was supposed to be paid directly to the developer. The other said that it was supposed to be paid to the city. The one developer paid the $100,000 check to the city. This is just acknowledging the fact pursuant to the agreement that the city accepted the $100,000 payment and has been paying it off to the developer pursuant to the agreement. It's been vetted by our counsel, Christopher Zangaro, to make sure that's also not part of any lawsuit in that regard, so that we could release it. But we are in receipt of it, and then this just allows us to authorize it to pay it to the other developer.
You said Avenue G, the new road.
The new road, yes. No, G.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
after Avenue F.
Yes.
So, right?
So this was paid to us.
This was, yes, pursuant to one redevelopment agreement, which had conflicting language as to who was to receive the payment. This is just to show a paper trail. Okay?
One might think we could revise
I agree.
our verbiage in our development.
Well, look, I agree, but this was back down, done in 2017. So this is, yes. Okay?
Thank you, Jeff.
Yes. We can keep going and then if we want. Because R5 actually has 4 parts. You can vote on it all together. The first one is authorizing the city's execution of a consent and agreement to the second modification to assess utility and easements between the United States of America and PR Bayonne Industrial Urban Renewal LLC as redeveloper of the property, which is identified as Block 1180.01, Lot 2, as shown on the official tax map. 5A is authorizing the execution of a fill easement agreement with the Port Authority in New York and New Jersey and PR Bayonne Industrial Owners Urban Renewal LLC as redeveloper and the property which is identified as 1180.01 Lot 2 as shown on the official tax map. 5C is authorizing the execution of a water main easement agreement with PR Bayonne Industrial Urban Renewal LLC as the redeveloper of the property identified as 1180.01 Lot 1. And 5D is authorizing the execution of a water main easement agreement between Bayonne Logistics Owners Urban Renewal LLC as the redeveloper of the property, which is identified as Block 1180.01 Lot 1. Who'd like to move it?
Move it.
And so, right, before we do that, in
So-
layman's terms,
In layman's terms, so little history on this. There's multiple parties here. This is the UPS facility site and the other warehouse that Lincoln Equities Group built. So just for geographical purposes. There's also a Coast Guard building there. Now, pursuant to when the city accepted the entire base from the federal government, it was a condition that Coast Guard has certain easements and water utility rights that were, as a condition of us accepting the property. So pursuant to the redevelopment agreement between Lincoln Equities Group and then the city of Bayonne, this is just finalizing up some of the, easements between water utility, fill between the Coast Guard, Port Authority, which is part of the landowners, and then, with the city of Bayonne and the developer of the site. So that's what these 4 are.
right, and can we assume that these have all been reviewed and vetted through Director Kavanaugh?
This has been done through Andy Reichel, our special engineer regarding the base on this. This is one of the closeout items. They've been in the ground already for this. This is just acknowledging from a legal description these utilities and fill easements, pursuant to the redevelopment agreements in place. So Andy Reichel has vetted it. John Wichascala's office has vetted it. That's why, per his direction, it's 4 resolutions, not 1. So that's why it's being done this way, and again, it's just to be recorded in the county registrar's office to acknowledge the easements there.
Thank you.
Sure.
So on 5A through D, Mr. Booker? Aye. Mr. Carroll?
Aye.
Mr. Perez?
Aye.
Ms. Weimer?
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa?
Aye.
R6 has been withdrawn. R7 is designating 40 Cottage Street LLC as redeveloper of the property located at 80-84 East 25th Street, which is identified as Block 442, Lot 14, as shown on the official tax map of the city, and authorizing the preparation of a redevelopment agreement for the same. Would like to move it. No one like to move?
I apologize, Madam, forgive me. R7?
Yes.
I'll move it.
And a second?
Second.
On that resolution, Mr. Booker? Aye. Mr. Carroll?
Aye.
Mr. Perez?
Aye.
Ms. Weimer?
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa?
Aye.
R8 is authorizing and directing the planning board to conduct a preliminary investigation to determine whether the property located at 935-939 Broadway, which is identified as Block 85, Lot 23, as shown on the official tax map of the city of Bayonne, constitutes an area in need of redevelopment.
Move it.
On that resolution, Mr. Booker? Aye. Mr. Carroll?
Aye, but this is an example of we should be more discerning.
Well, this is to send it to the planning board.
I know, it's just a study.
And you and I have had a discussion
Yeah.
about whether something is in need of redevelopment, and the building and the grounds don't look like they're disheveled anyway. I think that's the discussion you and I had, right?
Especially
Okay.
when something was recently an active
Right.
business and, you know.
Oh, but you and I agree with that, but this is asking the planning board what they
Sure,
think.
sure.
I'd like
When
to
they-
jump,
When they come back, I would just want to see what their findings are before we say.
Absolutely.
okay, I want to jump in real quick.
Sure.
I agree with what you're saying, but this property has been vacant for a while, and I am on the planning board. I've been saying that for a few times, and I'm aware of what's going on, and I agree, we should wait and see what comes back. But that property has been vacant for quite a while, and
Sure.
it has been out of operation.
Sure. I live a couple blocks from there. It's been a bank for many, many years since I'm a child. And I understand what Councilman Carroll is saying, and that's why I said I want to come back. I want to hear what their findings are. Maybe there's something under the ground that I don't know, or maybe there's something else going on here. And that's why we send to the planning board, that maybe they'll come up with something that we're unaware of. So we have a lot of other departments that will look into this, that will have to sign off on this. And so let's see what they find out.
Okay. Mr. Perez?
Aye.
Ms. Weimer?
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa?
Aye.
R9 was a space holder. I didn't receive anything on that, so I'm going to remove it.
Just on that, yeah, we're not pursuing that yet. We haven't been contacted to continue, effectuate the transfer.
Okay, then we have a couple of add-ons.
Joe, if you don't mind,
Sure.
Jackie and I, we wanted to know, could you just go over R6, why it was withdrawn?
Yes, so R6, initially, when, again, this is from a history perspective, in speaking with John Wichiscala on that, when he was hired as Special Redevelopment Counsel here, he had standard forms. And then, obviously, through the evolution of time, as different requirements from the council has evolved, different, paragraphs and provisions, were added to each agreement. So, for instance, not being able to get a parking pass, having, pick up garbage in that regard. Those are just some of the examples. So in talking with our Special Redevelopment Council, when they actually, were reviewing the agreements, they've just gotten away from the original standard template of that, and they're just reworking the past couple months on getting back to a standard, language in both agreement, on this. So that's why it's not finalized yet. It's just, going back and forth with some comments with the developers' attorneys on that, and it's really just a review at this point for Denoy and a few other redevelopment agreements forward. But it's just, a lot of time is being spent on working and updating a new template on our redevelopment agreement. So again, also like for the financial agreements, like, 10% to the Board of Education, those things, evolve, and just sometimes it's just easier, just pulling the last agreement that you worked on because you had it instead of the standard template. So that's kind of where it was withdrawn.
I couldn't explain it as eloquent as you, so I had to have
Yeah.
you come.
So it's not, so that project is likely to come down the line?
Yes, it's just, this is going back and forth on making sure that our language in the agreement's comfortable, but also, again, because of the process with our pink sheets, I can't walk nor do I want to walk on an agreement for it, so I have to have a placeholder, really in place, and that's kind of what that was. So, yeah. Okay.
Thank you. And then are we waiting on Jay?
No, I have 4 add-ons also.
Oh, we do.
Yes. So if we have to, we'll wait at the end for Jay.
First one is authorizing the execution of a right-of-way agreement between the City of Bayonne and Comcast Business Communications LLC to permit the installation, use, and maintenance of telecommunication facilities within the public right-of-ways for the purpose of providing telecommunication services.
Okay, so a question on this. This is for cell phone towers? What is this, telecommunications? It's, well, I don't know what that is. I want to know. Can anybody answer that?
That was the Mr. Coffey add-on.
Okay. Well,
'Cause
yeah, I'm just going to say, why don't we wait till Jay comes back, because I don't want to,
I'd like to add a line to that.
I don't want to give my approval to something I don't know about,
Right.
so.
Will be,
And,
Contingent upon them removing any.
Well, that's the thing, I want to add lines, there's 6 provisions, that's why it made it seem like it was the cable company. I
Well-
like the 7th provision to be, within 6 months or a year, they have to remove any dead or discontinued lines,
So-
because they're crowding up our poles.
So I need to know a few things also. One would be, this says non-exclusive, so that means Optimum or the old Cablevision, who at one time had an exclusive contract, by the way. I need to know, obviously, that contract, I would imagine, is not exclusive anymore if we're going to have them come in and do that. So I need to know that, and I need to know, when they say telecommunications, what exactly are they including in that? Because like I said, that could be, it could be internet, it could be cell phones, it could be streaming, television. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities here. So let's put that off for now. We'll revisit that with some information.
so we're going to move on to add 2, which is providing for the financing of the special emergency appropriation of the City of Bayonne in the County of Hudson by issuing the special emergency notes of the city.
What was that?
It's
So I thought
Providing
we
for the
had this
financing.
before,
That's-
didn't we? The $4 million for retirement for,
The ordinance just authorized the special emergency appropriation for us to appropriate the money. So this is for me to sell notes to actually fund the money,
okay.
and it'll be paid off in 5 years.
But this is the same $4 million for retirements
Same
and,
one. This just authorizes the CFO to actually go and sell a note.
okay.
Borrow money.
Okay, and I'll move that.
I'll second.
And on add 2, Mr. Booker. Aye. Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
Okay.
That's the
This is-
CR 12.
Okay, all right, we'll go back to that one.
And Donna, do we raise these funds through the issuance of municipal bonds? How is it that we?
A note, yeah, I'll sell a note. So it's either put the $4 million in the budget and pay it in 1 year, or the law allows us to do this special emergency appropriation, and you can either fund it through if you have surplus, or by selling notes. So,
And when you say by selling notes, you mean a bond?
yeah,
it's not, okay. So okay. Right, okay. Thank you.
3 is authorizing an access agreement to allow performance of environmental due diligence in relation to the construction and installation of the twin aqueduct pipeline system on Block 294, Lot 20 in Kearney.
Second.
On that resolution, Mr. Booker. Aye. Mr. Carroll. Aye. Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer. Aye. Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
Fourth add-on is authorizing the purchasing agent and/or any other appropriate city official to advertise for cell phone-based parking payment system utilizing the competitive contracting process.
Second.
On that resolution, Mr. Booker. Aye. Mr. Carroll. Aye. Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
Okay, we're going to go back to CR 12, which is, pull up the pink sheet, taking the necessary steps to extend the current maintenance contract with Jan Pro Cleaning and Disinfectant Services from October 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024 for an additional amount of $8,779, making the total contract amount not to exceed $49,550.
So it's definitely 15 months, and that's the right amount. Okay. And
And
the
it's-
8779 additional is for the 3 months? Is that what it is? Okay.
We're just trying to put it on a calendar year, that's the reason for extending it, so it will work with the budget
Right.
instead of having.
So then
ending it.
next January will be the
Right,
next
we have to put-
contract?
Yeah.
Okay. We could do that on a whole? Is that okay with everybody?
And on CR 12, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
And with Mr. Coffey not back, I'll take a motion to recess.
Motion.
And a second. And on the motion to recess, Mr. Booker. Aye. Mr. Carroll. Aye. Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye. Motion.
Aye.
Aye.
Bayonne and Comcast Business Communications LLC.
I've asked Mr. Coffey to explain some of our questions.
Okay, Comcast came to us a couple months ago, and under an order dated February 15, 2001, issued by the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities, they're authorized to provide communication services. They came to us, and they are looking to occupy public rights-of-way within the city for the purpose of constructing, installing, operating, repairing, maintaining, replacing a telecommunications system. Essentially, it'll authorize Comcast to operate within the boundaries of the city, and Comcast has to apply for permits and do everything else they have to do to install and operate, repair, maintain, and replace telecommunication systems on whatever is ours. There's also PSE&G's poles and other third-party poles that are out there that they might have to access. But as far as the city's consent is concerned, we're only concerned about any rights of way that we have over the public ways. So right now, you've got Verizon up there, you've got Cablevision stuff up there, you're going to have Comcast stuff. There's really nothing to stop us because of the federal lobby on this. And their belief is that we should have choices, which I think Warren Harding would want us to have choices.
Herbert Hoover?
Herbert Hoover was against.
Yes.
He was
If
against
only we learned the lesson of the quote, it'd be
Warren
nice.
Harding.
Herbert Hoover was against cable.
Warren
Herbert Hoover.
Harding was big. He was way ahead of his time. He was the Elon Musk of his day, and he felt that everybody should have choices. I don't have a quote
So
from
Jake,
him.
seriously,
Right.
there's no non-compete or whatever you want to.
No, in fact, it's a right now, we have non-exclusive agreements with,
Non-exclusive, thank
right,
you.
with all the cable providers. There was a day
I
when
remember
we were,
back.
right, back in the
when.
day, when, before Neil was born, when it was,
This is very true. It was a dark time.
they didn't touch other,
was a
they
dark
all had a territory. Cablevision took care of here, and nobody else was allowed to come here. Verizon was somewhere else,
Then the light
or
came.
Comcast was someplace else. Now it's all hands on deck. So all this is a consent that we really don't have much of a choice about, because they are
That's my
ascribed with
question.
the power to put this stuff up.
So this is essentially lines of all sorts, cable
Correct.
lines.
Correct.
Communication lines, et cetera, et cetera. Are we prohibited from adding, so there are 6 stipulations on page 2. And can we make the 7th a timeline, if you want, if it's a year, or even if it's
They're gonna have to get-
24 months, to remove dead and old lines and beautify, correct, reduce, however you want to word it?
Unfortunately, those aren't their lines to remove.
No, I think what we want is for them to have to, so in paragraph, in our whereas as part of the resolution, in addition to, I think that should be revised, that they're going to apply for permits as necessary to construct, install, operate, repair, maintain, or replace. There has to be some language added that they are obligated to remove any either non-working, non-in-use, non-operating equipment,
And given that this is
But
50 years.
wait, their equipment.
their equipment.
They would have to do that. We don't have any, I don't think they have equipment up here.
No, well,
So-
well, how about lines that are no longer in use, lines that are breaking, lines that hang down? There's one in the middle of 29th Street right now.
They're other people's lines. It's like me saying, I've got a,
Well, that's funny, because I called PSE&G because it's hanging from a PSE&G pole, and they told me it's a cable line, they can't touch it.
this is
And nobody wants
Comcast.
to take
But what I'm saying is,
responsibility.
why can't we add that they have
Protect us for the
responsibility to remove any non-working?
But you have to come to the mic. But for them to remove non-working, it's got to be determined it's not working, and it's not theirs to remove. I can't take, hey, there's a lot, why can't I, as a homeowner, say there's a wire that doesn't do anything, I can take it off? That's owned by Verizon,
But Jay,
Cablevision.
I think we agree. The issue is going forward, once they install their property, once they install their
Right.
materials. If we had something here, like, for example, all these other companies that have them, I don't believe there's anything in there that we can use that has teeth to say, you need to go and strip all those extra lines off. Can we add that here
I
so we
think
have
when their contract comes up again,
in 50 years? This is
No,
50
no, they have to do other things besides that. Every once in a while, they'll come and say, we want to go to 5G, or we want to go to 6G. At that point, you can impress upon them, you're not doing that unless your old stuff is taken away.
Right, but so
Well, then why don't we
can't we
add-
add that to this as a start?
As a condition of any renewal of a contract, prior to the renewal, a plan of, what's a good word?
So when
reclamation
of
their
property.
lines are no longer in use, they have to remove the lines.
Correct.
Okay, then
All right, so
then we
I have
don't.
something to say, but I want to hear what
So,
Junior has
Council
to say
President,
first.
Council
Let
President,
Junior speak.
I was with Verizon for many years, so what the Councilwoman is speaking about, 90% of the lines that we're seeing right now that she's referencing are dead copper lines from Verizon, or they could be Cablevision lines. We're not going to get a new renewal for Verizon because they have a statewide franchise agreement. They don't go to each municipality. Once FiOS came about in 2005, they went to the state and got a statewide franchise agreement, so they stopped negotiating with each municipality. So we don't have that. What we do have is the ability to contact Verizon and Cablevision, and we do have the ability to put pressure on them through their government relations people to come in and start cleaning up some of the deadlines. We do that now with double woods. So when there's two poles side by side, sometimes there's always a problem with we have to wait for public service to place the pole. They'll place the pole, move the power, and then two poles will sit there forever because you got to wait for Verizon and Cablevision to come and swing the wires from the old to the new. They'll come and do that, and then they might walk away, and then we'll have a situation where we have a double wood, which you absolutely have the power to go to Verizon, Cablevision, and Public Service and put pressure on them to remove those double woods. You could probably do the same. I would be glad to talk to you. I could put you into contact with the right people at Verizon that could help start to remove it. I would say the number of people that still use the old antiquated copper lines is nil. We stopped installing them
That's right.
20 years ago. We don't
Right.
even install it no more. You
So,
have to, if
Junior,
you get
the
service from
problem
Verizon, it has
is-
to be on Fios.
We get homeowners that say this wire's hanging in my driveway, and they call all these companies, and nobody takes responsibility for it. So I personally, they'll call me up, I don't know whose line that is or whose wire it is. We need somebody who can detect whose line it is, get in touch with that person, and have the ability to do something if they don't take care of the wire. And that's what I want, even if I have to do a separate resolution or whatever it is, to get them to come and do what they're supposed to do. If the wire's hanging, the only recourse I have, the fire department comes
Right.
and ties it around the
Right.
pole, and it still looks ugly.
Right, and it
So
does,
I
it
don't
looks
want
ugly.
that. I want to
Well,
beautify the town and get rid of the wire.
just so you know how it works, Verizon is the bottom, then Cablevision is the next row, and then there's a large gap, and everything above that is PSE&G. So it's Verizon is the bottom row of wires, then Cablevision, and then, but this is going to be Comcast installing new fiber, I'm assuming, dark fiber through the town. That'll be somewhere in that Cablevision space, I assume, or above there, but they're not going to have, you're not going to have anything to go to them with because they're installing new. They have nothing up
Okay,
there now.
okay, but they're looking for something, and I can build it in. It says that you're authorized to execute, the mayor and clerk are authorized to execute a right-of-way agreement that's subject to, similar to, they have a general form, subject to the review and approval by the city's law director. I'll tell you point blank that if it doesn't have a provision in it that says that they have to remove dead cable or dead wires within 6 months of notice, that we're not signing this.
But who are you
I would
asking to
agree.
remove dead wires?
What's that?
Who are you asking to remove?
No, they have to remove 20 years from now their own wires.
We'll
But
include
this
it
whole
in
thing
this
that you just
kind
volunteered to coordinate, the removal of the old Verizon and,
I could get you in touch with the people at Verizon. The problem is Cablevision, they've changed, but we could always find out
There's-
who that is.
right.
But we do have the ability to put pressure on them to come in. It would take a long time, but they have to go in and start cleaning up. There is a lot of dead wire out there.
Right, and that's why I think that
90% of it is dead
that
wire.
6-month period of time is more than sufficient. My
I-
$459 cable bill evidences the fact that they could hire someone, a maintenance crew, to
I
come
honestly
out
think
and do
6
that.
months is too much. I think you should do 3 months.
Well, I think that's not realistic, but
You don't
as
think
long
3
as-
months is realistic?
As long as language is in, so you're agreeing you're going to add a number 7?
not to your resolution. In the body of the right-of-way agreement, it'll say they're responsible for removing, upon 6 months' notice from the city of Bayonne, they are responsible for removing any and all, at least begin the process of removing any and all non-used wires. Yeah, but I can't, if they wire the whole town, it might take them 2 years to take it, it could take them 5 years to put it up, it might take them 5 years to take it down. So
I would think that they would do that as it becomes necessary.
one would think that, but then we see all this stuff that's lining our streets.
Understood.
Okay, so the caveat to me is upon issuance of this right-of-way
So,
agreement,
Again, I'm going to say this again and let the council decide what they want to do. If that wire's hanging in my driveway and you give them 6 months, they're going to take 6 months. That's the minimum, right? So to me, I don't want that wire hanging for 6 months. I think you're giving them way too much.
I wasn't thinking,
I'm only talking about removing
I wasn't
stuff
thinking
that's
on an individual basis. I was thinking on a, like, right now, Verizon has a whole network, and I'm guessing Junior Cablevision has a whole network of copper-based wires, and so does the, maybe the phone company. That's right, okay, yeah. Right, Ma Bell lines are running all throughout the city for the past 50, 60, 70 years, and they're never going to be used again, but they're still up there. In fact, maybe we just tell the people who go around and scrounge copper, start climbing poles and start shipping the wires.
I think we're talking,
It's not the recommendation,
I think
but
we're talking
Vincent,
about two
Vincent
different
back there is going to be. Okay,
Video
so
Go
the
harvest, all of
the
this.
bottom line is, I don't think we're going to do it on a piecemeal basis. It'll be replaced on a grand scale. But the thing we have to do to start it off is, we've got to get in touch with Verizon's reps and Cablevision's reps and see if we can initiate that process. Comcast isn't going to be an issue for many years because they're going to put new stuff up. They're going to put fiber optic cable, and that'll be it. So the caveat for, you tell me what I'll come back to you as a group before that right-of-way agreement is executed, and you're telling me 6 months is too long. They have to initiate, there has to be a process, let's say, that.
Right, I think you do have to allow for necessary process internally in their organization.
Right.
So if not 6 months, then I would suggest no less than 4 months, 120 days.
Right.
I'll
I don't think
compromise,
it's.
but I think 6 months is too long, so it's all right.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to request a written receipt of our complaint within 3 months and a completion of, or correction within 6 months or 420
Right.
days.
Well, I'll leave that to, I'll have to sit with them when we're doing the right-of-way agreement. Okay, what are we gonna do in the long term about unused wires? They can't do anything about the existing unused wires. We're gonna have to go back to the existing companies. All right? So in honor of Warren G. Harding, we'll.
Yeah, I think 4 months is sufficient.
Actually, we're honoring FDR. He was a big government can-do guy. Herbert said, everybody will do the right thing. Boy, did they let him down.
So you're going to hold this off?
No, I was gonna say,
After this, we'll.
all right, so the resolution goes as is, but the admonition is to the law department that we gotta come back for the actual execution of the right-of-way agreement. It's subject to my review and approval, which I'm telling you will come back to you to say, okay, here's the language, what do you tell me is okay?
Okay,
So who'd like to move it?
second.
And on the resolution, Mr. Booker. Aye. Mr. Carroll. Aye. Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
Okay, on the two consent resolution items that we pulled regarding Chief Geisler and Deputy Chief Skirbo. You recall back in August, because of a change in the New Jersey Administrative Code with respect to terminal leave and retirement payments to uniform officers, we had to amend the FMBA contract, both of them, and then we had to amend the contract for Chief Weaver and Deputy Chief Bartos. The same thing was going to be done with respect to the SOA and the PBA, and that contract was just signed by them at 5:45 tonight, so I don't have that. The Chief Geisler and Deputy Chief Skirbo went to their own attorneys and came up with revised, we have employment contracts with each, and we actually just revised their, independent of this memorandum of agreement, which hasn't been approved yet by you. We revised the language consistent with what we did with Chief Weaver and and Deputy Chief Bartos for both Deputy Chief Skirbo and Chief Geisler on the police side. We are not doing the Police Superior Officers Association or the PBA till next month, because I didn't have the wherewithal to do it in 15 minutes. So I've done a resolution that says, whereas on or about July 12, 2023, the Division of Local Government Services readopted New Jersey Administrative Code Title V, Chapter 30, Subchapter 15, which among other things establishes procedures for local government units to account for accumulated absences and for the payment to employees for such absences, including the dollar value for accrued or compensated vacation leaves of absence. And whereas due to the aforesaid readoption, it was necessary for the City of Bayonne to amend its collectively negotiated agreements with the Bayonne Police Superiors Officers Association, the Bayonne and the Police Benevolent Association, Local Number 7, by way of memorandum of agreement. And whereas due to the change in the administrative code, it is now necessary to amend the city's employment agreement with both Police Chief Robert Geisler and Deputy Chief Joseph N. Skirbo to reflect a change to their terminal leave and payment of accumulated retirement hours of reimbursement. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and clerk are hereby authorized to execute amendments to the existing employment agreements with both Chief Robert Geisler and Deputy Chief Joseph N. Skirbo as set forth in the attachments. The attachments are the actual agreements with that language revised.
Who'd like to move it?
I'll move it. So moved.
And on that resolution, Mr. Booker. Aye. Mr. Carroll.
Aye.
Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye.
And with nothing else, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Have a happy Halloween, everybody. Oh, Mr. Booker would like to add something.
Okay, real quick, I gotta stop saying bye. All right, real quick, again, forgive me. Bayonne Police Department, along with the Mayor Davis, tomorrow, we're gonna have a very important event down at 16th Street Park. It's called the Calming Sirens. It's open to the community, but it especially addresses our special needs community where they come down and they get a chance to meet all the EMTs, police and fire, and all the special services that are provided to the community. And it's a free event. I think it's very important to go out and meet these people. I've done it for a couple of years, and they get to play around with the trucks and the police cars and so forth and so on. But it's essential because it really reassures the special needs that when they hear these sirens and things going on in the city, that they don't get too alarmed about it. So you get familiar and you understand, and it's a very important program. And I just wanted anybody that stuck around to March 5 to 7 at the lower level of 16th Street Park, open to the whole community. Please come out, support, and help this community. Thank you.
And on the don't leave. On the motion to adjourn, Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Carroll. Aye. Mr. Perez.
Aye.
Ms. Weimer.
Aye.
Mr. La Palusa.
Aye. Have a good evening.